funny story, that gym teacher also was fired.
Oh, no.
And it was because he stole an iPod, like Gen 2 or 3 iPod from a student.
It's the most random thing for like a teacher to do.
Yeah, but you got to think about what year it was. Like that just came out or whatever. He was like, I got to have this. Forget my job and my career or whatever. Welcome back to another episode of the Perkfitt podcast. It's been a minute, but it always has.
Yeah.
So the big news is we're going on vacation tomorrow.
That's actually not even close to the big news.
Okay, well, that's big news. It feels like big news right now. Well, what's the big news?
Ladder.
Well, we teased it in the last episode, and Katie's, your hint.
Yeah, it was very good.
Was Jacob's.
Yeah.
And the answer was the Ladder app or Ladder.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, I'm Ladder's newest coach.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding coach, and we kicked off our first week this week.
Yeah.
It was a really fun week. Starting the week with 0 members.
Wow.
And ending it with more than 0.
Like 2?
More than 2.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah, it feels good. Everybody has been super engaged in the team chat, and they gave a lot of good feedback about the workouts this week.
That's nice.
That's really cool. So if you don't know the Ladder app, it's like a workout app. It's a training app.
Mm-hmm.
I design like 6-week training blocks. It's new workouts every week, and I do voiceovers. Like the voiceovers for each workout are new every week. So you're getting all new like tips and tricks.
Yeah.
And cues from me. A lot of people that like my content that I put out.
Yeah.
Like the fact that I do a voiceover and explain to them like how to do the movement or give them like tips for how to feel that mind muscle connection more. And so that's like built into the app. So you get it while you're working out.
That's very cool. Do you think that people think that they're friends with you because you're talking to them all the time, even though they don't actually know you?
Yeah. I mean, if they're on my team, I'm friends with them.
Oh.
We're friends. In fact, if you just, all you have to do is say something in a team chat and I'll be like, I like this person. They're my friend. Thanks for livening up the team chat.
As long as it's not mean.
Yeah, as long as it's not mean. I had a really mean comment on my Instagram. I didn't, something I posted, a workout that I posted, and you didn't even, or I didn't even see it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Because he took it down because you shamed him into taking it down. So explain.
Well, no, I just got him to reconsider why he felt a need to be so unkind.
Okay, so what'd you say? How'd you do that?
All I said was, why do you feel the need to be so unkind?
What did he say though?
He was, well, I don't know. You said something in the video about how like, you're not going to be able to get through this or like something, which I'm like, obviously that's like a joke. You're like egging people on. And he like went off about how like, I hate it when people do this. Like, who do you think you are? You're not Arnold. Like, we can do a workout, something. And then he was like, and by the way, just like went on this tangent about how you have like hot dog calves and like all of this stuff. And I was like, it's just pointless. Like, what's the point of like being mean to a stranger? I don't understand. And so instead of, responding with one of the many witty things I probably could have said back,
you could have.
I just, human to human, like, why do you have to be mean?
Yeah. And then he took his comment down.
Yeah,
so I
he
never
deleted
actually
it.
saw the hot dog.
He deleted it and then commented something else. I think that was like just like a normal person's comment on a
it's funny because that hook to the video is like very intentional. Like you probably won't make it through this workout, but I'll give you the details anyway. It's like, of course you're gonna watch that video.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to trick you into watching like a good workout video instead of a shitty one. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because they're just going through TikTok. Yeah. So you got to get your attention quick. And that's one of the best ways to do it. It's either to say you're dying, you're going to die when you do this workout. Like, or
can you say die?
No, I'm exaggerating.
Oh.
Or like, you're going to, like, you can't do this. Like that's be the first thing I say to you to get you to watch it. Or like, The other one was just if I'm wearing Air Force Ones and I'm creasing the toe in the beginning of the video, then people will watch it because it's fucking infuriating for them. I'm like, what? Okay, I bought this pair of shoes specifically for the gym. People are just losing their minds over it. So yeah, it's very strategic about getting you to stick around and watch the whole workout. Okay, so the vacation is not the big news, but I guess it's the second biggest news. Yeah. So if you haven't joined my team in the Ladder app, you should do that because you can do the first week free. You don't have to put a credit card information in. You don't have to give them your credit card information. But I promise you, like after a week of doing it, you're gonna be
will have to give them your credit
you
card.
will have to give it to them. It's like $30 a month after that, but I think it's worth it.
Yeah. And
there's no other like workout experience out there like that.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into this week in fitness. I got a couple articles that I want to read through. Okay, I saw this week. This is a 1940s contraption for an infant leg muscle development machine. Cool. 1940s infant leg development muscle machine here. Check this thing out. I'm going to throw it up so people can see it.
Oh.
Look at that. It's
Very
just
good.
like, it's almost like a Jacob's ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, babies would love that.
They would love that. I wonder if we can make this for like adults. And if this could be like a new cardio thing. Should we try?
Sure.
I thought that was crazy and interesting and super fucking weird.
Very cool though.
And then I was thinking about how strong our baby's legs are because
she's a strong girl.
every night when I after the bath, when I dry her off, I'll lean into her. So she'll use her legs to leg press me off.
Yeah.
And we've just been doing sets and reps of that.
Yeah,
and
she's
so
strong.
She's getting super strong. And then
tonight, I also think too, like whenever I see her going upstairs, I try to imagine the same height. If I had to climb stairs that were that like disproportionate to my body, how much of a leg workout I would get every single time I go up the stairs.
Yeah, for sure. But she's got that youth.
I know, but they're like up to her hips every time. Can you imagine?
Tonight she was doing a plank. I'll throw the photo up because she just did it on her own, and then she looked at me and smiled. Like she knows what she's doing.
She says, "I know my dad is strong. He's gonna love this stuff."
Yeah, she really knows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. That was one thing that I bookmarked this week. Also, I saw this other article about muscle profiling in Sweden.
Cool.
Okay, so in Sweden, you can and most likely will be profiled by the police if you are super muscular.
Wow.
They just assume that you use anabolic steroids, and they'll arrest you on no other evidence other than you're jacked.
I mean, kind of cool.
It's kind of cool, right? kind of cool to be profiled in this situation.
Yeah.
That's crazy though. They'll just arrest you because they think you use steroids. If that's true, everybody on TikTok is about to would be arrested.
Yeah.
Every time I post a video, people are like, just hit me with the, you use steroids comment.
Cool.
So I would be screwed.
Yeah. Too strong.
In Sweden. Too strong. Profiled.
Yeah.
Muscularly profiled. Okay, another article I saw this week. A high school in the 60s had this crazy fitness program. So this is a high school, 1960s. The rookie level, the entry level, for this fitness program at a high school was 6 pull-ups, which is not a lot, but it is.
More than I can do, yeah.
When you're in high school. The top dog spot, though, to be in that group, you had to do 34 pull-ups.
Wow. And
carry someone on your back for 5 miles. Carry someone on your back for 5 miles.
How big was the person, though?
Well, it's probably a high school level sized person.
On the back.
On your back, yeah. On your back, yeah, on the back. And then you'd have to carry them 5 miles. I will throw up a couple pictures because there's like full on articles about this place. They're like, it's 1960s, whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like shredded. You're like, you don't see this. You know, this is like Jack LaLanne level, like black and white fitness photos. So I'll throw those up. I thought that was crazy. I mean, we ran a mile. You know, it was like, when I was recording my movement shoot at Ladder, we did like over 400 movements in a day.
Wow.
And in 2 locations. And so at some point, the topic of like my high school gym teacher came up, and he was like fresh out of college. He was like in his 20s, you know, like teaching us to gym. And it was like the weirdest shit. Instead of doing like, we went from playing dodgeball, kickball, like basketball, like all the normal stuff that you would do in a gym class. We went from doing that to we did Taibo. We did fucking wheelchair basketball. Wheelchair basketball in high school.
Where did you get the wheelchairs?
I don't know. They brought in a truckload of wheelchairs. And I was telling everybody at Ladder this, and I was like, it was so dumb. And I just want to play dodgeball or whatever. But honestly, like now I'm like, I'm so good on a wheelchair. Like I can get up on 2 wheels and spin around.
No.
Like I can do tricks on wheelchairs now because of that.
You can get up on 2 wheels on a wheelchair?
They have 4 wheels. There's 2 wheels in the front. All right.
No.
Yes, there are.
No.
Yes, there are.
What?
In these, okay, when I went to high school, they had 4 wheels. I don't know what's happened since. I mean, I'm sure they make them without it, but it's not a fucking Segway now.
Wheelchairs have 2 wheels, right?
They got 4 wheels. You got to have wheels in the front where you put your feet down. There's tiny wheels in the front. I got to pull up a fucking photo. There's tiny wheels. Who's... 4 wheels. Look it. There's wheels in the front.
Okay.
They're super small. Okay, you probably haven't seen them because you didn't play wheelchair basketball.
Never looked at it up close.
We also did a game where it was volleyball, but we used our feet, and it was a tiny ball like this big. It was like some Asian sport or something. What? Yeah. Anyway.
How old were you?
I don't know. I was in high school. I don't know, 16, 17.
You were doing gym in high school?
Yeah, of course. Like we didn't all. You went to private school, or I guess you didn't have to do gym. But in the public school, we do gym.
No, I did like ballroom dance for like a gym credit.
Yeah, no. Not my school. I mean, I went to school in the middle of nowhere. We graduated like 60 people.
Yeah.
But
at least you can do stuff in a wheelchair in case the situation ever arises.
That's true. Yeah. You know what? I hope I don't have to use that.
Yeah, skill set, but
whenever I see a wheelchair, I'll jump in it and do some tricks for people. Funny story, that gym teacher also was fired.
Oh no.
Not long after I think my departure from the school, and it was because he stole an iPod, like Gen 2 or 3 iPod from a student. He stole it. And he got fired.
Not the worst thing a gym teacher could do.
It's not the worst thing, but it's pretty bad.
It's pretty funny.
It's funny that he stole the iPod?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's the most random thing for like a teacher to do.
Yeah, but you got to think about what year it was. Like that just came out or whatever. He was like, I got to have this. I forget my job and my career or whatever. I got to have this iPod.
Yeah.
You want to ask me some questions?
Sure. What's more important, volume or intensity?
That's a great question. I think it depends on who you ask. There's a lot of people that people really trust on social media that would say, you only need 2 sets of this workout and maybe 3 movements. So not much volume, but more intensity as long as you bring the intensity, which is true. But I think
what does that mean? Like more weights?
Yeah, more weight. You're working harder on those. You're putting more work in on those fewer sets that you're doing. And I would agree with them. Like, that's true. That's what I would do. And that's kind of what I do when I'm training. But you can get a really fantastic workout in, and one that's going to help you grow in a short amount of time, doing less sets and less reps with higher intensity. The problem is those people they're not thinking of their audience. They're thinking about themselves and how they would program things for themselves. Most people aren't going to be able to like know what true failure is and then get anywhere close to it. So when I'm thinking about programming for a client, I have to kind of get to know the client a little bit, but work around that, because it's really hard to tell someone like, you need to work harder. Like you need to go to complete failure. We're like, this is failure to them because they've never pushed themselves harder than this. Yeah. And so there has to be a balance for the general public, or like most people who would want a workout plan, not bodybuilders or power lifters. Yeah. There has to be a balance between volume and intensity. It's somewhere in the middle of that. And that's what I try to like, that's the kind of stuff that I try to post. And that's the kind of stuff that I try to program in the Ladder app, in my one-on-one coaching, is like somewhere in between that volume, that lower volume and intensity, and higher volume and less intensity. So try to find a middle ground, and it seems to be working because people, they're transforming their physiques. So
what would you call it?
Call what?
The middle ground.
I call it the Perkfitt method, the Perkfitt technique. That's what I call it.
Do you want to know what I would call it?
What?
The volumeicity. Or the intensium.
I don't like either of those.
Oh.
Combination of
Well,
words.
I think that it would be just good.
It's not like a celebrity couple dating.
Well, it could be, though. Is it possible to overdo it on cardio?
What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is, for sure. I mean, there was one girl that went to the gym that we went to in California. It was like, stop running.
You can't say that.
Well, I was concerned for her well-being.
Yeah, but I don't think that running was the biggest.
I think it was. Culprit. She would run like for fucking the whole time I was there for like 2 hours. She would run straight. I think that was the problem. Yeah, you can definitely overdo it. People are like, can cardio affect my gains? It certainly can. If doing so much cardio takes you from being in a caloric surplus, which you need to have to build muscle, and it puts you in either maintenance, which is what you need to sustain your current level of like
current bod.
Your current level of makeup and muscle and weight. And then if it pushes you further into a caloric deficit, then you're going to start losing weight. Yeah. So certainly it can affect your gains. And if we're talking about gains, and we are talking about gains in muscle growth and strength gain. So it can affect your muscle growth and strength gain if it is so much cardio that it's putting you in maintenance or putting you in a deficit, because that's truly like the only way to gain or lose weight is to be in a caloric surplus or deficit. So, yeah, it's possible to overdo cardio. It depends on what your goals are. I'm assuming you're trying to build muscle, because that's usually when people ask me that question. But if you're trying to lose weight, can you overdo cardio? You certainly could, because you don't want to be more than a 25% caloric deficit. And if you're doing a ton of cardio, it could put you in more of a deficit than that. If you're already...
Why don't you want to be in more than that?
It's not healthy. You don't want to lose more than, 1 to 2 pounds a week. Yeah. In most cases. So, yeah, you can absolutely overdo cardio. A lot of times people will ask me that and they don't do any cardio. And they're just like, please tell me that
that I don't have to do this.
Yeah. And they're wrong. Yeah. You got to do some cardio, not only for your health, but not only for your like heart health. Yeah. But like also, even if you're trying to gain muscle, you should still be doing some form of cardio. Not only for your heart health, but to help keep your gains lean. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we answered a couple questions. I don't give a shit anymore. I'm ready to go on vacation. I'm ready to wrap this thing up. I also DoorDashed Thai food, so I'm like beyond done with this episode. Thanks for tuning in. If you're listening during the ladder cardio, which I tell people, here's your stair stepper cardio session. You should listen to a podcast, maybe throw it on.
Yeah.
Here's a good one, the Perkfitt podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on my team. If you're not on my team, then I'm not thanking you. Join the team.
Then I hate you.
I hate you.
This is a podcast for people who do
gym stuff
and others
do gym stuff too.